And we're back, and it's time jump. Different shirt and stuff. But we're finally there's always updates in the topic that we're talking about. This is a hot topic. Everybody, the judge in charge of the Epstein case had a professional assassin attack her family, killing her son and injuring her husband. I'm not sure if he's still alive. I know he was in critical condition. And then he was dressed like a FedEx guy, but then they found him and they said he committed suicide, that he killed himself.
Wow.
And he may be connected to the killing of another judge. That sounds like somebody was a professional hit and then was fucking, somebody else was tying up loose ends.
Damn. I don't even know how to fathom this.
I mean,
you
you can't.
telling me the whole family was dead and then he supposedly committed suicide. Like, if in retrospect, if he did, could you blame him? No.
I mean, he's killed another judge before, or attacking another family of a judge. But no, see, people don't attack. It sounds like a professional hit because people don't really attack judges because they'll just kill the judge and bring in a new judge, and you have the same fucking problem. So what they do is they try and make the judge do their decision.
Yeah. So they kind of try to bribe him into it, more or less, or intimidate.
Yeah, and they didn't. So they didn't kill the whole family. Like the son died, and the husband might die. I don't know. I don't know his condition.
Not for nothing. Like, at that point, he probably just should, because it's gonna suck if he doesn't.
I mean, yeah, he's gonna wake up to a shitstorm.
Yes, in the least.
So what do you think about fucking a FedEx driver, that's not a FedEx driver, showing up to deliver a package that's a bullet?
Well, I'm glad I don't use FedEx.
I don't really use FedEx either. I use UPS, but I mean it's the same principle.
Yeah, no, that's a horrible thing. Like, that's just a lot.
Imagine getting shot.
The door for any delivery service to possibly be the end.
Imagine being shot in the face by a pizza delivery guy. But it's like, I think it's because she's on the Epstein case or in charge of the Epstein case or something. I think they're trying to make the pedophile ring. I think they're trying to cover that shit up because they can't suicide the woman because they can't suicide somebody again and not get caught because people really don't think the first suicide was suicide.
Oh, of course it wasn't.
No, he definitely didn't kill himself.
Come on, he was living the dream.
But she
he
released
got to leave jail all the time. He didn't have to stay there really at all. Like, he was winning all day. Winning.
No, I mean, he was in prison for a little while. They put him in that suicide note.
No, I understand. He was in prison and all that, but he was able to leave jail, go to his private, mansion or whatever. No mansion, but it was a rooftop in a penthouse or some shit. Yeah.
No, that wasn't this. That wasn't this.
I know it wasn't this thing. I'm just saying.
No, that wasn't.
Realistically, being in jail for him wasn't that bad.
But that wasn't this time. Him being arrested. That was the time he got arrested before.
Yeah.
So this is crazy. He was in prison, and then they moved him to solitary suicide watch, and somehow he hung himself with paper blankets.
Paper blankets.
And somehow all the cameras didn't work and things like that.
Paper blankets.
But they put his madame there, the woman that scouted all the fucking women they brought to the island. They arrested her and they put her in the same prison.
Can they do that?
Yeah, they arrested her. They could put her in whatever prison. She gave up a bunch of names.
Really? How many? Do we have any of these names on hand?
I mean, I got some off the top of my head. It was the Prince of England, one of them. I mean, she could have just given random names too, but there was Clinton and a bunch of random names. Charlie Sheen.
That's expected.
Will Smith.
Also expected.
But nothing was official because these are just names that pop up on the internet. Nothing on the internet could be true. But a judge just ordered all of those documents to be unsealed and released to the public. So I think the truth is going to come out pretty soon.
Here comes the information train.
Really, the train? I mean, it is an information because this is going to destroy shit.
Yeah.
I wanna.
It's gonna ruin so many movies
So-
for me.
Who do you think has been on the plane? Who do you think has been to the island?
Been to the island?
Yeah.
Huh.
Besides, like the people that we know that there's pictures of, like Charlie Sheen.
Well, that's a good question. We'll probably. I don't know. That's a tough question. Let's say Oprah. I just want to say Oprah.
Oprah was on that list.
Of course she was. Oprah.
Oprah's done some messed up shit. She used to bring fucking girls to Harvey Weinstein.
Wow.
And she's on that, like, eugenics council with fucking Bill Gates. It's crazy. It's fucking...
But who are you more afraid of? Oprah or Bill Gates?
I mean, aren't they the same person?
That is a question.
I mean, if they're in the same secret society, world eugenics council fucking thing where they think a bunch of people should be dead because there's overpopulation and we should be controlling breeding and like DNA manipulation, making sure there's no like genetic defects and shit like that. I'm pretty sure they're all in the same cult. It's when you're in a cult, everybody in the cult is pretty much the same because it's like a fucking hive mind.
Yeah.
It
Doesn't sound fun. Like, how could you really enjoy anything?
I mean, you don't enjoy
it. Really think about this. Like you're in an intimate moment, and then all of a sudden you go through it, and now everyone that was hived to you is also.
It's not like that. It's just you all. It's like you have the same ideology. It doesn't matter. You all believe the same ridiculous shit.
No, I know.
This shit's crazy. Like people are saying that Trump went to the island, but the documents say that he made them land the plane and then banned him from all his businesses. Yeah. But then again, you didn't call the police or anything. Maybe it's crazy.
Yeah, but when you have like probably let's say the president at the time and other individuals, they're like, what can you do? Like, I caught a depopo. Yeah.
True. When Barack Obama and Bill Clinton visiting the island, there's not much you can do.
That's it. It's one of those situations you're kind of screwed. Especially at the time he probably was there, was around that administration, I believe.
So we're taking a poll. The internet thinks that they're going to try and suicide this woman because they put her in the same fucking prison and shit.
Do you believe that is her fate? Will it end with...
I think they'll be fucking retarded to suicide somebody.
I just don't understand paper blankets. Like, how many paper blankets did he have to make it strong enough?
To not break?
To not break for him to commit suicide. Wasn't he not allowed that many paper blankets? Let's find out, people. How many paper blankets do you think he had?
I don't think he fucking hung himself. I think they beat him to death. Or choked him to death. I think he was offed.
Of course he was. Initially.
And now, like, since they...
no cameras. No
but
cameras.
I think they can't really... I think they'd be retarded if they suicided her, because that'll be obvious, because same prison and shit.
Yeah.
So, like, I think this was them trying to get the judge to rule, to, like, close all the investigation and shit, because this is also in reference to him connected to a bank. I forget the name of the bank. We'll put the name up there.
Yeah, the name will be up.
I'll put a link also in the description of the actual court case that we're referencing here.
Yeah. So again, how many families? You said 2 families that this guy may have.
Well, yeah, it says this suspects in New Jersey family shooting may have targeted another judge, possible link to California death. I don't know, so that's why I'm thinking he was a professional hit, but because this is the big Harvey Weinstein case, like the pretty powerful people are gonna go down, I think they tried to whack him, and then they had the fucking guy that they used to whack him whacked by another guy.
Yeah, but who whacks that guy?
I have no idea.
It's just a Can we follow the train of whackers?
They said he shot himself.
Come on.
I don't believe that. They also said a bunch of fucking, like we talked about last podcast, a bunch of fucking black people that were suicide hanging from public places. The world's in chaos. Do you know the back to the Portland riots too? Because we were talking about that in the other. The mayor of Portland went out and protested. Went out and joined the protesters. It was like, I'm not going to defund the police, but I stand with you. And the protesters were literally out there with signs and shit being like, fucking resign this guy.
That guy?
And like he went out there saying, I stand with you. And he's like, well then why don't you resign? I guess that's what they want.
Wow. Talk about putting yourself in the most awkward situation.
But yeah, so when you went out there, he was like getting booed and like fucking like.
Hey, at least you took it like a man. Could you? How about you? Could you guys take it? Could you deal with that torment and smile?
Oh, Philadelphia said that if Trump sent in the federal officers to protect federal land and they arrested anybody in Philadelphia, that they would arrest the federal agents.
Yeah.
So they would arrest the federal agents for doing their job. Like it's legal. I mean, there's a conversation to be had of whether or not some of these alphabet boys like DHS should be an organization. But as of right now, they are legal, and there's nothing in the Constitution that strictly prohibits or prevents their existence. It's just crazy. I mean,
things that seem to need to be addressed.
I mean, I think it's a little fucking interesting that they attacked the judge after like killing the other guy.
I guess, go big or go home.
I don't know. I still say it was an assassination, but I can't really say anything further. But we just had to talk about that because that's crazy, and I wanted to mention how they released the documents. And once they're released, I'm going to go over those, and we're going to talk about it.
Yep. So just later on, look down the link below. It will be there once we get it.
And then that's going to be it for this, and it's going to be the end of the podcast. So remember to like, subscribe.
And don't forget to post, comment, link down below.
And if you want to support us, we got a Patreon, Subscribe Star. And we're going to be on all audio podcast platforms.
Don't forget to find us.
And remember, that's on point. Peace.